Brett, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
So you're in Cabo. How are you spending your time? A little golfing and fishing, or what are you doing?
Actually went fishing yesterday. Caught a shark. That was the first time I've been out fishing. But yeah, I play a couple times a week with the fellas, and my wife and I play the other days. So it's great. There's basically nobody here on the property. There's only 60 people, and basically Cabo San Lucas is shut down, just like everywhere in the States. So we're just kind of like in our own little private Idaho here.
Are you? How big was the shark, by the way?
Probably about 5 feet, 6 feet. It's a blue shark, which I had never seen before. So it was pretty cool.
And your golf game at this stage, how would you describe it?
I guess normal. It's good. We're down here. I think it's like the courses that have opened in the States. Driving range isn't open, so you don't get to go out and practice or anything. You go and step up on the first tee and hope you get loose quick.
At one time, you talked about or actually played some professional events. If there weren't hockey in this world, do you think you could have made it on the tour?
No, not a chance. It is. It's way too hard a game. It's you have to start early, be taught the proper way from the word go, with proper grip and proper swing mechanics, and and then I've played with so many great players that never made it, and they shoot 66 to 70 every time we go and play, and they haven't a chance. So there is no way. But it was neat playing in a few events and learning what it'd be like.
Let's talk some hockey. How would you feel if they told you, Brett, you're going to come back and play this year, but it will be in front of no fans?
Well, if it was game one, I think I'd have a problem with it, playing 82 games in front of no one. But I believe there's only 10 games or so left in the season. So I think I could live with that, just to get it over with and let the playoffs begin. But it would be definitely weird, that's for sure.
But I guess if the other option is not playing and not getting paid, let's play hockey.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the way the players feel, that's for sure. And from what I understand, there's a pretty good television revenue that they'd be missing out on as well, the whole league. So, everyone's in the same boat. It's a very weird time. This pandemic has hit, and everyone's got to deal with it. So if you have to play in front of no fans, so be it for a little while.
What about the idea being floated out there that there'd be one city, like in each division, hosting, the rest of the teams in the division, like a St. Louis is a possibility? What do you think about that idea?
Well, that's, there's a lot of smarter people than me to figure out how to do this. It certainly doesn't seem like a bad idea. I think they would have to really think about all aspects of that, where let's just pick St. Louis. If we were to be that host city for the division or that group of teams, you'd almost have to have it like the Olympics, where no team got an advantage. So like if St. Louis, they wouldn't probably be able to use their dressing room or all aspects of the dressing room, where they would have the cold plunge and the hot tub and the steam room and the extra medical and weight room that the other teams wouldn't have advantage to use. So they would have to look at aspects of things like that, so it's all fair. And then obviously there would be no fans, so there wouldn't really be a home ice advantage there.
I do think our city's probably pretty equipped to handle this, right? With all the rinks and the low COVID numbers.
Well, I would like to think so. And, the defending Stanley Cup champions, the facilities, like you said, are there. So there's no question. And obviously they wouldn't be hard pressed to find some good food either.
Where does last year's Stanley Cup rank for you with the two that you won as a player?
Well, it's right there. It's hard to replace playing in a Stanley Cup and winning and knowing that you were an integral part of bringing a championship to your team and the organization you were playing with. But for what it did to the city and for the city and the unbelievable fans of the Blues that have been so loyal and great for our 50 some years. I mean, it was so great. And this virus has put a damping on us going back to back, because I'd really like to remember this second one.
Yeah, and if you get going again,
it took a while for you there, Frank.
well, how take us back to that parade and just the celebration afterwards.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, I was lucky enough to win one with the Detroit Red Wings and an original 6 team and a real good hockey town. And 1.2 million people, 1.2 million people came to the parade. And when we pulled out from the arena and took the right onto Market, there had to be well over 1.2 million in St. Louis, and it was incredible. And the excitement, the joy on the people, it just made it worthwhile. And it was just it was incredible. I was really proud to be a part of it.
Will you ever sing again?
Probably not in front of that many people.
What about the Blues on the ice if it does return? Because now it's a healthy Vladimir Tarasenko. I know there's teams in the East that are really good too, but what do you think if this thing does ramp up again in the Blues' chances?
Well, I don't, like you said, there are a few good teams on the East. I'm not sure anyone in the West. Obviously, there's some teams that could really push them, but when push comes to shove, I'm not sure anyone can beat the Blues. So I was pretty sure they were going to get back, and then whatever happened in the final would happen. So, but a lot of teams are getting a lot of people back that they didn't think were probably going to be able to finish the season or maybe even play in the playoffs. So, we've got Vladdy, but other teams have their guys too. So, but I still think that we would be prohibitive favorites to make it to the finals.
Let me get a quick thought. You have so many unbelievable numbers in your career. I'm wondering which one means the most. 1 of 5 to go 50 goals in 50 games, or just the 86 goals, which is the 3rd highest total ever?
I don't know. I mean, to be able to achieve both of those is incredible. I think, 86 goals is second, but I think being able to go back 50 and 50 back to back, that's pretty good. So that's, I think that one a little more than the 86, but not by much.
George Brett said when he almost hit 400 that the ball looked like a beach ball. When you had the 86, what did that look like? Describe what that looks like.
I mean, I've said this many times. I go, I can't believe Wayne's 92, because I felt like I scored every shift. I mean, I couldn't even imagine thinking about how to get 92, but it was kind of like George said, like every time I touched the puck, all I saw was net, and you get into such a zone, or I guess inside that zone comes a lot of luck too. And there was times when I missed my shot, or it was going wide and it hit someone in the leg and went in. So there was a lot of luck involved as well. And when you get hot like that, it's you just hope it never ends, and it didn't for a few seasons.
And then how about all the forces that were working for you? You had Adam Oates passing you the puck, Brian Sutter as a good motivator. It was like a perfect storm for you to just take off.
Well, it was. I mean, I've said that before too. For someone who lives to score goals, to be able to play with a guy who lives to set up goals, I mean, it's a perfect storm. And especially when I'm not sure anyone knew how good Adam Oates was for the longest time. and to have a guy under the radar that nobody knows is that good, it kind of, I guess after a while they knew that they better try to shut Adam down, which was probably, most coaches would look at it one way or the other. It's like, well, you got to shut down Brett Hull, or the other guys would go, well, shut down his, cut the head off the snake, and then, he's not going to get the puck to be able to score. So, but for the longest time, they didn't realize how good he was, but he ended up showing him.
Al McInnes has talked about how he developed his shot out in the garage when he was bored, and he just kept shooting and shooting. I know you worked really hard at your craft, but wasn't part of this inside you the day you were born?
Well, I think so. I think I had it was a little bit of a curse that I wasn't a very good skater, but it was also a blessing as well, because for a little chubby kid going out on the ice after my dad's practices, when I got old enough to be able to play at a competitive, not a competitive, but a coordinated level with other kids, where you had to be able to play. I was kind of, I don't want to skate, and I'm not really good at it anyway. So I would just grab pucks and just shoot. And so, as much as it hurt me in probably developing a lot of other attributes, it really helped my shooting, which ended up being the real attribute that I used during my career.
Can you relate to Larry Bird in a way? I'm thinking maybe Bird wasn't the most athletic and you weren't the fastest, but you guys had the shots.
Yeah, well, I'm prettier, but there's no question. He must have kind of been the same, right? Like just sit there with basketballs and shoot and shoot and shoot. And even as great as Larry Bird was, even some of the shots he took didn't look that pretty. But it went in the basket, and that's all that matters.
So what's left in terms of like career goals? You're involved with the Blues. You're enjoying life down there. When you've accomplished as much as you have, is it just kind of enjoy the rest, or what else do you have to accomplish?
I don't know. I just, I'm living day by day, enjoying still working with the Blues and being part of the NHL and part of the organization. Being a part of the fan base, season ticket holders, sponsors, and whatnot, and helping hockey in the city of St. Louis. And so just day by day, I wait for the call from Steve Chapman or Chris Zimmerman, and it's like, we need you to do this, and we get it done. And then enjoying my golf and a lot of good friendships.
Have you seen the documentary, The Last Dance? Have you watched any of that?
A couple episodes.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if you ever got to that stage. I think nobody ever got to that stage at Jordan where he'd have to go to his hotel room to avoid all the accolades and all the people and all the fans. Was there ever a time where you got sick of that, where, gosh, every place you went, especially in our town, you were just mobbed?
No, I'm me, I'm a people person. I could never do that. And thankfully I had friends like Chaser that I could go out with and, always feel a little bit safe. But, I love being around the people of St. Louis and going out to the bars and having dinner at restaurants and talking hockey or whatever they wanted to talk about. So that I'm glad never happened. And I've always said this, that I'm glad that I had a great level of success, but I'm not sure that I could have been a Michael Jordan type where you kind of lost your life.
Finally, do you ever walk by the Enterprise Center and just kind of glance at that statue? And, holy cow.
Yeah, it's crazy, because, I go to a lot of other stadiums too, whether it's to go to a sporting event or a concert or what it is. And I see other statues outside of those venues, and I am in total admiration of those people. And then I look and I go, well, I've got one of those. But to me, it just doesn't seem the same. It's almost like, yeah, I don't really equal these quality of players that have this and what they did in their career. But I guess it's nice to have a little bit of a humbleness to you.
Last thought, what's your message to Blues fans who are really anxious about this team hoping to defend their cup soon?
Well, I don't know. I think I wouldn't worry about hockey too much. If it happens, it happens. Just do the right things, stay safe, stay socially distant, and let's get our city, our state, and our country back up. Let's get the economy going again. And the only way we can do that is if we all do the right thing, and do the right thing until we get the antidote, or the whatever you want to call it, that vaccine. We can all take, and the vaccine, and be safe, and just help everybody. If someone's doing something stupid, just let them know, that it's not all about you. It's about everyone. So, and if I know the people of St. Louis and the hockey fans of St. Louis, that'll happen.
Great. Hey, Brett, before we let you go, can you just say happy Mother's Day to everybody in St. Louis? Have a special day. We're doing the messages with all the stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's called, just go ahead. Go ahead, take it.
Hey, to all the mothers in St. Louis and across the state of Missouri, happy Mother's Day.
Perfect. Brett, thanks for everything. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Frank. You got it, buddy boy. Okay.